we're also trying to get you a company which has got a hidden trigger. Not too many people speak about this, for Bhartiya International. It's a small company. It's into manufacturing of leatherware and accessories. What they're also doing, interestingly, is developing a real estate piece in North Bangalore. It's developing an IT park, hotels at a place called Bhartiya City. So interesting mix of businesses. The rupee depreciation should also be helping them. So we thought it best to get in Snehadeep Agarwal, founder and chairman of Bhartiya, who joins us right now on the show to speak about all the verticals. Good having you, Mr. Agarwal. Thanks so much for joining in. Firstly, the obvious question.
Hi, Neeraj.
The obvious question, the rupee depreciation. Apples to apples, I'm guessing that you are into export of leather accessories as well. Does the rupee at 60 benefit you immensely?
You see, it does benefit because in the medium to long run, the Indian exports will become more competitive for all the importing countries. So it does help because it takes care of your inflation. There is tremendous pressure in the Western economies which import all these products on the retail side. So it does help, but too much volatility, of course, is never welcome because it does not allow you to plan. But depreciating rupee will help, will expand our sales, will also improve our margins to some extent. Yeah, sure.
Right. Your company operates in two segments essentially, real estate and textiles. What would you say is your core business at this point in time? And, could you give us some color on how growth would be for both the businesses?
You see, our core business is transformed now. I would say it is providing lifestyle solutions to consumer. In our first business, which is what we call the fashion business, we provide lifestyle solutions to people who buy fashion products, whether it's accessories, apparel, and we work through other brands, while we also have our own brand which we retail in Italy. But a large part of our business is designing for companies like Zara and Mango and Hugo Boss and Armani and those brands. Then on the other side, what we did, we said we are developing a lifestyle city, township, integrated township. You see what happens in India now because of the expensive urban proliferation, their cities could not be planned. So we don't have any more integrated centers. So life is more difficult. We saw a great opportunity to create an integrated township, which has 6 verticals, which has public realm and infrastructure as one, an IT park. It has a city center, which will have 4 hotels, a retail in different formats, and it has a business district, and it will have housing of various kinds. This project was launched about 6 months ago with the first set of housing. We are branding our homes, and the first one kind of homes called Niku homes, which have been received very well because we built infrastructure first, we built some public spaces, we built parks, and people are delighted. There are cycle tracks and there are walking tracks. So actually our sense of design, we are bringing in design as a tool to how to use design as a tool to improve quality of life and create value for our consumer and buyers. Yeah.
Mr. Agarwal, so I know about the project. Now let's just talk about how does this translate into numbers. Firstly, before we talk about what numbers come out of this real estate development, I believe ILFS had invested 150 odd crores in Bhartiya City in 2007. Now, we heard that they have recently exited it and the promoter group entity has bought back the stake. Is that true? And if so, at what valuations?
No, we've just reached an agreement with them that over the next 15 months, we have started to provide them an exit, and over the next 15 months, we'll complete that process. And they will eventually get a fair return on their investment, but that will be determined over the next 15 months. So, yes, there is a definitive agreement, and they are on the exit mode, yeah.
What happens next then? I mean, what's the kind of numbers that Bhartiya City clocks in for you as a company? I believe the entire project is under the listed entity Bhartiya International?
No, 30% is held by the listed entity, and the balance is was held by ILFS and the promoters. So Bhartiya International holds 30% of the project, yeah.
And
so now we are in the development mode. We have just launched homes. We sold about 1,400 homes in the first 6 months in 2 tranches of launch. It was received very well. So it's in we started getting income out of the project. It is in a positive income mode, revenue mode. We also are starting to build the first IT building in the IT park, which is a 600,000 square feet building above ground. And we have signed up Leela as an operating partner for the first hotel and convention center. It will be one of the largest convention centers. So we will hold about total about 17 million square feet, out of which about 8 million square feet will be housing and 9 million plus will be commercial assets in all these formats.
Right. How much revenue did you generate by selling?
The total timeline of the project is about...
Yes, please give us a timeline.
Sorry, go ahead. The total project timeline will be about 9 years from now. And it will be completed in 9 years. And after 9 years, our intent is to hold as many commercial assets as we can. And housing, of course, will be sold. So we see a very large, asset creation from this project. 9 million leased assets in various categories.
Right. No, I was just asking you, Mr. Agarwal, one, how much revenue have you generated by selling the initial tranche 1 of flats, 1,400 that you said?
The first housing that, about 800 crores worth of homes are sold. In the first 6 months.
Okay, great. And going forward on an annual basis, how much will you be able to get in terms of revenue from this project? Because you're saying it's over 9 years.
You see, we have a whole business plan which we have not yet. The housing, we plan to sell about 2 million housing every year. So that constitutes, let's say, about 2,000 crore of. It constitutes about 1,200 crores worth of housing every year. And then, of course, the commercial assets will start to yield leasing rents at various stages when they are ready.
We'll have to wrap up this interview, Mr. Agarwal, but I'm just quoting you again. You were saying that annually you would do 1,200 crore rupees as revenue from Bhartiya city.
Or from the housing alone, plus the yield from the leased assets, which will start coming in from middle of next year.